Magandang araw mga kapatid, mga kababayan. Welcome to my small channel. This is EJ Morse. Thank you for joining me today. Lalong-lalo na yung ating mga kababayan sa iba't ibang panig ng daigdig at ang ating mga kababayan dito sa iba't ibang panig ng Pilipinas. Doon po sa mga bago lang dito sa aking channel, kindly subscribe, kindly hit the notification bell, pati na rin yung like button. At paki-share na rin po para lumaki ang ating community. At bago tayo magtuloy-tuloy, as usual, yung ating EJ Morse prayer. Here it goes. Sa lahat ng mga manggagawa sa pamahalaan, sa lahat ng mga public servants, tama na ang pagyayabang, itigil ang pagiging arugante. Irespeto ang batas, irespeto ang mamamayan. Huwag magnakaw, huwag maging tamad, maging mapagpakumbaba. Pasweldo kayo ng taong bayan, kami ay nakamasid, di namin kayo tatantanan. Okay, tuloy-tuloy na po tayo sa ating topic for today. Pag-usapan natin mga kapatid, mga kababayan, yung ginawang state visit, ng ating presidente, PBBM, at actually, nandoon pa siya ngayon sa US at hindi pa siya nakakabalik. At doon kasi sa issue na madalas ibinabanat ng mga DDS, ng mga katulad nila Harry Roque na ito daw si PBBM ay bangag, ito raw ay cocaine user, hindi natin masabi na totoo o hindi dahil wala naman tayo talagang kinalaman or wala tayong nalalaman dyan. Ganon din naman itong mga DDS na to. Itong sila Harry Roque at iba pa ay wala naman talaga silang katibayan, puro hearsay lang. Pero just the same, assuming for the sake of argument na meron silang nalalaman tungkol dyan, tingnan natin yung performance ng ating presidente na nandoon ngayon sa US. Napakahusay sumagot, on point yung kanyang mga sagot sa tanong at well-versed doon sa issue. Alam na alam niya yung mga issue na dapat sagutin at immediately meron siyang response. Hindi siya nag-iisip ng matagal para sagutin yung mga katanungan sa kanya. Ibig sabihin, handa naman itong si PBBM na harapin ang international media, harapin itong si President Donald Trump, at ito mismo si President Donald Trump ay maganda ang sinasabi tungkol sa presidente na si PBBM at ganoon din sa pamilya niya. Of course, depende yan sa kinatatayuan mo. You will disagree or you will agree with President Trump. Depende yan sa side na iyong kinatatayuan. Pero ang sinasabi natin dito, kung pag-uusapan natin yung issues regarding politics, regarding economy or whatever regarding our country, nakakasagot naman ng maayos itong ating presidente at sa totoo lang excellent ang kanyang mga sagot at hindi mo makikitaan nung sinasabi nilang bangag. Again, ako po ay isang neutral, hindi po ako isang Marcos loyalist, but then again, sasabihin ko sa inyo na itong si Presidente PBBM or si Presidente Bongbong Marcos ay napakagaling sumagot. Alam niya yung issues, alam niya sagutin yung mga tanong, hindi siya nag-iisip ng matagal, marami siyang mga stock knowledge about the Philippines, about politics, about economy, at kung ano pa ang itatanong sa kanya ng international media. Kaya nga, sinasabi natin dito, kung totoong itong ating presidente ay bangag, siguro naman hindi ganito ang magiging performance ito when it comes to question and answer, especially international media ang kaharap mo. At lumalabas talaga dito na iba talaga ang paningin ng Amerika dito sa nakaraang gobyerno o sa nakaraang administration. Iba ang paningin niya, especially ni Donald Trump, tungkol dito kay Digong Duterte. Nawawala dito yung pinagmamalaki ng mga DDS na kesyo malapit daw itong si PBBM malapit daw itong si Donald Trump kay President Digong, at si Digong pa nga daw ang naimbitahan doon sa inauguration at hindi si PBBM, at marami pang iba. Kaya magsusumbong daw sila, kaya may sumulat pa yata kay Donald Trump tungkol dito sa pagkakaaresto ni Digong Duterte at pagkakadala doon sa The Hague. Pero dito, lumalabas sa pananalita ni President Donald Trump na alam niya kung ano ang kinasadlakan, kung ano ang ginawa ng presidente na si PRRD noong panahon na siya ang nakaupo. Alam niya kung ano ang nangyari sa Pilipinas. Alam niya na hindi ito naging malapit sa anumang bansa sa mundo. Umiwas siya. Iniwasan niya na magkaroon ng friendly relations with other countries other than China. Alam na alam ni President Donald Trump na itong si Digong Duterte ay walang ibang tiningnan, walang ibang nilapitan, nakipagkaibigan kundi ang China. Yun lang po. Kaya itong mga DDS na nagsasabi na malakas itong si Digong Duterte kay Donald Trump, wala akong makitang ganyan dito base sa naging pag-uusap nila doon sa Oval Office diyan sa White House. Pakikinggan natin mamaya itong naging usapan ni PBBM at ni Donald Trump. Magbibigay lang ako ng iba pang mga observation na sinasabi nga nitong kampo ni Digong Duterte na itong si PBBM ay parang dinidisregard ni Donald Trump. Mukhang dito sa nakita natin ay hindi totoong merong ganong attitude itong si Donald Trump towards dito sa ating presidente si PBBM. At mukhang magiging maganda ang resulta nung magiging negotiation nila dahil nung time na nag-uusap sila doon sa Oval Office, hindi pa nila napag-usapan yung tariff. Pero later on, yan ang susunod na topic nila at magiging open yan sa public later on. Okay, so tingnan natin kung ano naging takbo ng usapan, ng interview, yung mga tanong ng mga international media at papanong sumagot itong si PBBM dito sa mga tanong na to.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of the Philippines, a great family legacy, and highly respected in this country. I know that because I have many friends in the Philippines, and there's great respect, or I couldn't say it, so congratulations. We're going to be talking about trade. We're going to be talking about war and peace. They're a very important nation militarily, and we've had some great drills lately. We're back with them. I think I can say that the last administration was not getting along with them too well. The last administration was not getting along with them too well. The last administration was not getting along with them too well. They didn't get along with anybody. They didn't know. Honestly, they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't get along with anybody. They didn't know. Honestly, they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't get along with anybody. They didn't know. Honestly, they didn't know what they were doing. 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 But we have some fantastic military relationships with the Philippines, and that's been reinstituted. And Pete, I would say that you couldn't be happier, right, with the relationship. So I just want to say it's an honor to have you. We're going to talk about trade today, and we're very close to finishing a trade deal, big trade deal actually. And we do a lot of business with you. It's a lot of income coming in for both groups. But I was surprised to see the kind of numbers. They're very big, and they're going to get bigger under what we're doing and what we're proposing. And I just want to thank you for being with us. It's a great honor. You and your representative. It's really a great honor. We have a big announcement. AstraZeneca, the big drug company, is going to spend $50 billion, just announced $50 billion in the United States in order to build various places all over the country, big manufacturing plants. And it's going to be a very good investment. I have no doubt about it. So thank you to AstraZeneca. And with that, I'd like to have you say a few words, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Of course, we're all very happy to be here to once again reaffirm the very strong ties between the Philippines and the United States, ties that go back over 100 years. And considering the context in which we live these days, especially in my part of the world, this has evolved into as important a relationship as is possible to have. We must remember that the United States is our only treaty partner in the Philippines, and that has stood us in good stead over the years, certainly through the Second World War, and the cultural memory of all Filipinos, down to even the school children, is that our strongest, closest, most reliable ally has always been the United States. That is something that we value, that we are grateful for, and that we will continue to foster as we go on. With the leadership of President Trump, I am very confident that we will be able to achieve that. I think it is worthwhile to remember that it was President Trump who, in his first term, characterized the relationship between the Philippines and the United States as ironclad. And that has been necessarily the case since that time that you made that statement, sir. And it is something that the Philippines will always hold close to its heart. Thank you once again, and we are honored, and it is our great pleasure to be here and to visit with the President of the United States. Thank you, sir.
It's my great honor. Any questions, please? Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to ask both of you one question. Mr. President Marcos, next year, Philippines is going to be the rotating chair of ASEAN. I wonder how do you plan to balance your relationship between the United States and China? And for President Trump, Kremlin yesterday said if you are going to Beijing in September, they wouldn't rule out a meeting between you and President Putin. Is such a meeting possible? And how soon do you plan to visit China?
Well, we have a lot of meetings possible. President Xi has invited me to China, and we'll probably be doing that in the not too distant future, a little bit out, but not too distant. And I've been invited by a lot of people, and we'll make those decisions pretty soon. Please.
Well, as you say, we are chairing ASEAN for 2026. There is no need, in a sense, to balance, as you characterize as, to balance our relationship between the United States and China, simply because our foreign policy is an independent one. Simply because our foreign policy is an independent one. Simply because our foreign policy is an independent one, and we are essentially concerned with the defense of our territory and the exercise of our sovereign rights, and the exercise of our sovereign rights, and the exercise of our sovereign rights. Now, whether we do this not alone, we need to do this with our partners. And again, our strongest partner has always been the United States. But of course, we are trying to form coalitions and multilateral relations so that those like-minded nations who share the same values as we do, who hew to international law, most specifically the UNCLOS, present that position very clearly to anyone who has intentions of unilaterally changing the world order. And that is how we are guided.
And I don't mind if he gets along with China, because we're getting along with China very well. We have a very good relationship. In fact, the magnets, which is a little complex piece of material, but the magnets are coming out, very well. They're sending them in record numbers. We're getting along with China very well. And I don't mind if the president dealt with China, if that's meant, because I think he has to do what's right for his country. I've always said, make the Philippines great again. Do whatever you need to do, but you're dealing with China wouldn't bother me at all.
It is something that we have to do in any case. Yeah. Certainly.
How crucial is the ammunition hub that the U.S. plans to build in Subic and the Luzon corridor, considering that these will be built in areas that hosts strategic ports as well as military air bases?
You're talking ammunition?
Yes, the U.S. House Congressional Committee on Appropriations approved a budget.
Well, it's very important. Otherwise, we wouldn't have approved it.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's very important. Otherwise, we wouldn't. We need ammunition. We're going to end up in a few months, we'll have more ammunition than any country has ever had. We're going to have more missiles than any country has ever had. We're going to have all the speedy missiles. We'll have the speedy ones, the slow ones, the accurate ones, the ones that are slightly less accurate. We have everything. But we will have more ammunition than any country has ever had. It's very important to me.
Okay.
Go ahead, please, Red.
Sir, when you say that you're close to making a trade deal, what gaps remain? And for President Marcos, sir, I was just wondering, do you not think that perhaps the Philippines hosting U.S. missile systems could be considered escalatory by China, especially because they can strike even by China? Thank you.
Well, it's an honor to be with this gentleman. I've known him, and I've known his family, actually, but I've known him. And I assume you're from the Philippines? Are you from the Philippines?
Yes, sir.
That's good. You're very lucky to be from the Philippines, right? It's a great place. But we're going to have a very good relationship. I mean, I know you had some problems with another president, and it was not your fault. It was the president's fault. And the country was maybe tilting toward China, but we untilted it very, very quickly. But you had a country that was tilting toward China for a period of time, and I just don't think that would have been good for you. You could deal with China, you should deal with China, but when I got elected, everything changed, and they came right back to us. Say it again? Yeah, Brian, go ahead.
Oh, Mr. President, I just wanted to piggyback off the
Sorry, I have a
housing.
question to President Marcos.
Yes. Sorry, what was the question again?
It was about whether having U.S. missiles hosted in the Philippines would be considered escalatory by China?
All of what we consider part of the modernization of the Philippine military is really as a response to the circumstances that surround the situation around the South China Sea, and now what we used to refer to as Asia Pacific, which we have expanded now to the Indo-Pacific. And if we would certainly, like in any kind of military spending, we would wish that it wasn't necessary, but it is. And so that is what we are doing. And as an adjunct to the question about the ammunition production, this is actually the United States is assisting the Philippines in what we call our self-reliance defense program, which is to allow us to be self-reliant and to be able to stand our own 2 feet, whatever the circumstances that occur in the future. And the reason that we have encouraged more interaction with the United States is because it is necessary. And it is not just with the United States. It is with all our neighboring countries, and even countries as far afield as the Scandinavian countries, the EU. And so this is an ongoing process. And again, I will stress the point that we do this because we feel it is necessary.
And don't forget, just as tantamount to what you're asking, the Philippines were loaded up with ISIS and a lot of terrorists, and they were at a very, very dangerous point. And during my administration, we went in and we wiped them out, working with the Philippines, but we wiped them out. But if we didn't go in, I don't know what would have happened. I don't know who would be your president right now. But we spent a lot of time and a lot of talent on going into the Philippines and wiping out terrorists. They had a tremendous problem during my administration, and we cleaned it up, we got them out, and now you really have a good, solid country again.
I believe so, yes.
In terms of negotiating about the reciprocal tariff, how far are we from the Philippines? Yes, sir. How far
are you from the Philippines?
Yes, sir, I'm from the Philippines. How far are we from achieving?
Well, it's tough. He's a very tough negotiator. So far, we're not there because he's negotiating too tough. In fact, I used to like him better than I do now. He's too tough. But we'll probably agree to something. But he's a strong negotiator. He loves your country. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, so nakita naman natin kung paano in-entertain, paano hinarap ni President Donald Trump itong si PBBM, at nakita nyo naman ang performance ng presidente na medyo nakaka-proud naman na pag ibinato kay PBBM ang tanong ay agad-agad niyang sinasagot at on point ang kanyang mga sagot at hindi nangangapa, hindi nanguhula sa sinasagot niya. Alam niya, mas alam pa nga niya kay Donald Trump yung tungkol doon sa itatayo na ammunition plant or something, fabrication ng pagpagawaan ng ammunition diyan sa Subic. Mas alam pa ni PBBM yung usapan at yung detalye ng project na yan. Dahil yung sagot ni Donald Trump nung tinanong siya doon sa issue na yan, motherhood statement lang sinagot niya. Kumbaga, superficial lang sagot niya. Pero nung si PBBM ang sumagot tungkol sa project na yan, detalyado kung anong purpose, kung ano ang expectations ng Amerika, ng United States of America tungkol sa project na yan. So, ibig sabihin talagang mas well-versed itong si PBBM pagdating sa project na yan, at makikita nga natin dito na hindi nanguhula itong si PBBM, alam niya ang mga isasagot doon sa international media at hindi siya nangangapa sa mga isasagot niya. So there you are, mga kapatid, mga kababayan, pati na yung mga DDS, hindi nyo makikitaan kung kayo man ay mayroong nalalaman tungkol sa sinasabi niyong pagiging bangag sa pagiging user ng presidente dito sa pagharap niya sa media, pagharap niya sa international media, pagharap niya kay Donald Trump. Hindi siya magiging ganito ka-confident kung totoo ang sinasabi niyong mga pagbibintang na bangag. Alam nyo, ang isang bangag, ang isang addict, nawawalan niya ng kumpiyansa sa sarili. Hindi yan makaharap, hindi yan makapagsalita ng diretsyo, at hindi yan magkakaroon ng ganyang kagandang stock memory pagka ikaw ay talagang lulong sa droga. Makikitaan natin na yung kanyang mga pagsagot na impromptu, immediately, at hindi masyadong nag-iisip, at hindi talaga nag-iisip. pagbato ng tanong, sagot agad siya. At tama, on point, alam niya ang sinasagot niya. Kaya, para sa akin, sa isang ordinaryo na tao na nag-observe, na mayroon din namang nalalaman tungkol. Mayroon din namang nalalaman tungkol sa mga sinasabing adik, bangag-bangag. Hindi ko nakikitaan ng trace itong Presidente Bongbong Marcos tungkol sa sinasabi nyo. Diretso sumagot, hindi nag-i-stutter, at alam niya ang kanya sinasagot, at makikitaan mo ng kumpiyansa. Again, sasabihin ko, ang pagkakaalam ko sa mga bangag, sa mga drug addict, nawawalan po ng kumpiyansa sa buhay yan. Nawawalan po ng kumpiyansa sa sarili yan. Hindi yan makakasagot ng diretso, at lalong-lalo na, apektado ang memory niyan. Kaya, kung yan ang pinaniniwalaan nyo, or talagang pinaninindigan nyo yung propaganda na yan, wala akong magagawa dyan. Pero, from my own point of view, wala akong nakikitang ganyan itong si PBBM dahil nga sa the way he answered, the way he carries himself, kung paano siya humarap sa media, with confidence. Hindi ko nakikitaan na itong presidente natin ay isang drug addict. Maaari siguro in the past, yung kabataan niya, nagkaroon ng experience sa ganyan yan, hindi naman natin, hindi naman tayo ipokrito na kahit naman ako, nung kabataan ko, nag-try ako ng mga ganyang klaseng experiences. At ang pagkakaiba lang nito, dahil ito ay public figure, kaya ginagawan natin pinalalaki natin ng istorya. At of course, politics ito, hindi mawawala yung mga ganyang usapin. Para lang masiraan, para lang gamitin sa propaganda. Alam natin yan. Pag ikaw ay public figure at ikaw ay nagkaroon ng konting issue tungkol sa addiction, tungkol sa paggamit ng drugs, hindi talaga totally mawawala yan at gagamitin yan against that person dahil nga marami kang kalaban sa politika, maraming gustong ibaba ka, ibagsak ka, para ang gusto nilang kandidato, ang gusto nilang tao, ang siyang maka-take over, makaupo. Karaniwan po yan sa politics, laging ganyan. Merong against at merong kakampi. So, hindi natin maalis yan. Hindi natin aalisin sa inyo yan kung yan ang paniniwala nyo. Kung yan ang gusto nyo palitawin sa propaganda ninyo, okay lang sa atin yan. Pero ang sasabihin ko, dito sa ipinakitang performance ni PBBM dyan sa pagharap with confidence, yung kanyang pagsagot sa mga international media na alam ang sinasabi, hindi ko siya makitaan na sinasabi niyong bangag-bangag. I'm sorry po para kontrahin ko yung mga sinasabi niyo. Hindi po tayo hindi po tayo loyalist, pero ang paniniwala ko talaga, pag ikaw ay isang drug addict, yung salitang addict talaga yung dyan kicker Pag addict ka, hindi ka magiging kumpiyansa sa pagharap sa tao, especially yung pinaka-powerful country, presidente ng pinaka-powerful country ang kaharap mo at international media magtatanong sa'yo. I don't think magiging ganyan kakumpiyansa kung ikaw ay bangag or sinasabi nilang addict. Sorry sa inyo. Magkakaiba tayo ng pananaw tungkol dyan. Thank you so much mga kapatid, mga kababayan. Hanggang dito na lang po. Gusto ko lang pong iparinig sa inyo, ipakita yung naging experience, naging representation ng ating presidente diyan sa pagharap kay President Donald Trump at pagsagot sa mga katanungan ng international media. Again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Para doon po sa mga bago lang dito sa aking channel, kindly subscribe, kindly hit the notification bell, paki-comment na rin po, paki-press yung like button, at baka pwedeng i-share natin para itong ating munting community ay lumaki. Thank you so much. At ladies and gentlemen, magkita-kita po tayo.